The Approach20V1 program is a course maintenance program used when playing WGT online golf. Its features include letting you adjust the distance and aiming calculations and a putting calculator for normal and dot counting with the WGT standard grid layout. A special thanks to Approach Software for allowing me to use their instrument lab components within this program. Thank you, Boyan. Approach Software is specialized in the development of high-performance software and data flow solutions involving video processing, audio processing, digital signal processing, real-time data acquisition, communications, process control, computer vision, artificial intelligence, data visualization, visual instrumentation, parallel and grid computing, hardware control. You will need to change your WGT video setting to play in window mode instead of full screen mode if you wish to have Approach20V1 visible. Changing the WGT screen to the smallest size will also have a slower downward meter speed, making it easier to hit the ding mark. Approach20V1 was designed using a screen resolution of 1920 by 1080. Move the Approach20V1 program main form to a screen position of your liking. Now move the power gauge form to match the WGT power meter width. Once you have the form position set, they will be saved when you exit the program. When you restart the program, the forms will appear where you last moved them. I suggest you go into practice mode and set up your screen positions. You only have to do this once unless you need to move them to a new location. The first time using the program, you will need to load a ball file. The starter ball file is included. Click on Ball Data, then load the ball. Navigate to a ball file and select it. You will see a message when connected to the ball file. You will notice a spin gauge located next to the map ball image. This gauge value will position its marker relative to the amount of spin taken for the ball file record. The gauge marker is a visual representation of where to move the WGT green on the ball when applying spin. When you create a new ball file using the driving range program or have loaded a ball file from the Approach20V1 program, make sure the spin values are from -100 to 100. Using the optional driving range program is an easy way to record your mapped shots. The driving range program has an export feature to save your specific ball type, which can then be loaded into the Approach20V1 program for use. You will notice there are 3 round gauges near the top of the form. The white gauge is the wind direction, with the minute hand pointing to the value you keyed in from 00 to 59. The blue gauge is the amount of adjusted wind based on the direction, strength, and yardage. The light red gauge is the amount of crosswind based on the same. The bottom gauge displays the number of grids needed to move the flagstick before hitting the shot. The aiming calculation can be adjusted by you in 2 ways, which we will go over later. Make sure you have chosen the right course and hole from the Courses tab. This way, you can see your notes, and the program can filter out fairway and tee shots. Choose the Ball Data tab, and the program will display your mapped club yardage with this ball. You can choose the club and spin needed for the shot. Notice the power form gauge will increase or decrease to the needed power. We click on the Ball Data tab and choose a club. After landing on the green, we will use the putter calculator. Click on the Putting tab to display the putting calculator. Key in the correct green speed and press the tab key. Key in your distance and elevation. For downhill elevation, be sure and enter it as a negative number. You will notice the power form gauge marker will move to the adjusted power needed for the meter scale you keyed in. I like to give it a little more power to hold the line better, but that's up to you. We advance the course to the next hole. Notice the lead. If green, then there's a note entered. We select the Ball Data tab again and choose a club for this shot. Let's take a shot and see if any adjustments are needed for this hole. For shots with large elevations, you might want to adjust the aiming and wind strength. With a large downhill elevation, the wind will have more effect on the ball since it's in the air longer. You can adjust the head or tail wind divisors to help offset the yardage. In this scene, we have a headwind and want to increase the calculated wind strength by changing the head wind divisor. We also want to increase our aiming calculation since we will have more wind push. Since we came up short with the shot, we will take the shot again after adjusting the wind aim field, WA, from the course file and also adjusting the head wind divisor to give us more head wind effect. You could also leave a comment about this hole for aim and distance adjustments. It's up to you whether you want to make adjustments or not. The option is there if you do. Through trial and error, if you want to spend time adjusting, the adjustments you make will be saved for this hole, as long as you position the course file in the correct hole that you're in. Also note the lead next to the course name from the Approach tab. It will be green if there's a note for this hole or red if the notes are empty. We continue to adjust the aiming and headwind divisors until we are close. You can also change the grid size for different yards. The program will calculate the aiming based on the grid size listed for that yardage range. If you are used to counting dots using the standard WGT putting grid, the calculator will adjust the aiming point and power needed based on the dot count seconds you enter. Here, we counted 20 seconds for the average dots to move across the grid. We adjust the WGT scale to 30, since that is what we entered into the program. Will you make the putt every time? I wish that was true. Once you start seeing the line better, you can adjust the putter output calculation if it looks wrong. The only way to get better at putting is to practice, and more practice. You will have a general idea of where to aim to get close. The short game tab is a collection of different shots: pitch, punch, flop, and full shots. You can add a shot if one isn't listed. Be sure to select the correct type and location of the shot needed. The power gauge form will display the needed power for that type of shot. I hope you have fun using this program, and I hope it helps your golf game. The downlink links will be listed at the end of this video description. This program was written in Delphi for the Windows operating system.